also your gold and silver coin. You're not going to survive without all of them. You've got to find a way to purchase them. It may mean your life. I mean, better you should stay in the house for weeks at a time. At least you can feed yourself. And, you know, I get questions coming in now from people. Well, how do I make sure that I get extra water for my animals, which are, cows and bulls and things like that? And, I turn that over to someone who knows how to do those kind of things, because I don't. And, this is kind of a clearinghouse for information, really. And these are very, very important things. You can't run out and buy these things when, the terrible things are upon you. We're looking at nationwide unemployment of 35%. We're looking at half the people in America getting thrown out of their homes and their jobs, or a third of them at least in their jobs. And we're talking about official figures, not real figures. They'll have no vehicles because they'll be repossessed. They'll be living under bridges with shopping carts. This is real. It's like the American Revolution. It's important you do these things. There's going to come a time you say, gee, I'm glad I listened. Well, anyway, you know what your work is.
What are they going to do with all these? What are they going to do with all these repossessions?
They'll pile them in a yard somewhere, and that's the way the mentality goes. Maybe we'll reach a point and they'll say, well, nobody has to pay for anything. And then the local bread will cost $18,000. A bar of soap will be $15,000. I mean, this is what's going on in Zimbabwe. This is what went on in the Weimar Republic in 1921, 22, and 23. And look who came to power because of it. Adolf Hitler. We can't let those things happen. There's a lot of people out there who understand what I'm talking about, who are professionals, military professionals, retired and active. They'll know what to do, and they will act. They're not going to stand around while these meatheads destroy our country. They've had 15 months, and they're worse off now than they were before, and these baboons are the same ones that caused the problems. They did all this deliberately. Of course, they enriched themselves in the process greatly. And now they don't want to face the music, or do they know how to extricate themselves, because there is no way that they can extricate themselves. And so, this is where we're headed.
I got a bunch of questions here, Bob. With the Eurozone officially slipping into recession after the EU statisticians estimated the economy of its 15 member states shrank by 0.2% in the third quarter, Russia's markets were closed more often than open, and Asian markets are dropping. What makes upward tracking as if it was totally isolated from outside pressures?
Well, what you're seeing is reality. And those figures came out today. They're fresh because I have them in tomorrow's issue, so I'm aware of them. The whole world is in recession already. I mean, Wall Street and governments in America don't want to admit that, but they are. Europe was quick to admit it. 2 quarters in a row with negative GDP. And they're lying about their figures too, incidentally. Switzerland isn't, but the rest of them are. And it's going to get worse. Much worse. especially for the giant of Europe, which is Germany, the great producer and exporter. Their export orders have dropped 45%. The same with England. And the financial sphere, so to speak, is laying off hundreds of thousands of employees. In the period of 1978 to 1983, in the brokerage business, 60 to 70% of the brokers left the business. Of course, I did fantastically during those years because I was doing gold. Now, this is going to be worse. And for every broker, there's 3 or 4 people behind them, the margin clerks and the auditors and the accountants and the trading department and on and on and on. They're talking in terms of 200,000 layoffs. Let's start with 500,000 just in New York. New York's going to be a ghost town. The city of London is already get hit hard. Harder than New York, and they're going to get absolutely wiped. The percentage of income in the southeast section, which is where London is, of England, is probably 25%. They're going to get hit very, very hard. And this is going to go on all over the world. China just came in with GDP figures. I forget what they were. I think they were 8.5. It's close enough. Maybe it was 8.2. I just can't assemble each and every figure. I'm good, but I'm not that good. They thought it was going to be 9. At 8%, they've got revolution on their hands. Credit Suisse is projecting for this coming year 7.2%, and you can bet your bottom dollar that figure is going to come in between 5 and 6%. And the year after that, if there still is a China exporting, it'll be 1 or 2%. This is going to be ravaging. This is going to be unbelievable. And you got hundreds of million people already unemployed in China. China is an explosion waiting to happen with a dictatorial government. Their goose is cooked. Now, you're going to have problems in other places, like the United States, where people have never had a bad day in their life. Oh, my God, I can't go to the mall. I can't go to the movie. I don't have any gasoline in the car because I can't afford it. So I can't get out and see my girlfriend or granny or whatever. The whole way of life of the people of the world is going to change dramatically, especially in societies that use mortgages to buy homes. Ireland, Spain, Portugal, to a very limited, very, very limited extent to the rest of the countries in Europe. Probably 1 to 2%. Same in Mexico, Central, South America. People pay cash for their houses. Or they pay 50% down in those nations. Not in America. We all know how it works in America. And that's very, very, very dangerous. So, I hate to dwell on this, but this is what's going on. This is reality. I'm not a merchant of doom. I'm someone who's bringing you the truth that you won't get on evening television or in any newspaper or magazine in America, practically. You only get it on programs like Melody's program and a host of others that I'm on, Dr. Dan, Butch Pa, Joyce on the Power Hour, Alex Jones, and on and on. John Stadmiller at Republic Radio. That's where you get the truth. And so you better keep on listening because you're going to need it. It's going to be very important. As time goes on, it's going to get more and more and more important. And all of a sudden, they're going to shut us all down. then you're on your own. And if that happens, you can rest assured that there'll probably be revolution in the United States. And that's going to be the moment of truth, the window of opportunity for us to stop these people once and for all. And I will guarantee you one thing. As long as I can walk, I'm going across. And I will be back, because I don't want to miss the action.